Once upon a time, there was a family of 6. Zach and Violet were the parents, and they had 2 daughters, Elsie and Melinda, and a son, Colin. They all lived in a small town at the base of a large mountain range. One day, the children were on their way to school on the school bus. The bus driver, who was new to the route, took a wrong turn and ended up driving into the mountain. Before they knew it, they were deep in the jungle and completely lost. The bus driver tried to turn the bus around, but the dense jungle made it impossible. So they decided to wait for help to arrive. Zach and Violet, who were worried about their children, set out to find them with the help of Elsie and Melinda's teacher, Elsa. As they made their way through the jungle, they encountered many obstacles. Thick vines and dense foliage made it difficult to move forward. But they kept going, determined to find the children. The children and the bus driver were stranded in the jungle for 3 nights. The bus driver, being an experienced outdoorsman, took charge of setting up camp and keeping the group safe. He used the school bus to protect them from the elements and set up a shelter using tarps and branches, and started a fire to keep them warm and to cook their meals. The children were amazed at how resourceful the bus driver was, and they started to feel more hopeful. They helped out wherever they could, gathering firewood and helping to set up the shelter. They also kept themselves busy by playing games and telling stories to each other. During the day, the bus driver taught them survival skills such as how to find food and clean water. They also explored the jungle and found a small stream nearby which provided them with fresh water. The children were fascinated by the new environment. They learned how to identify different fruits and berries, and also how to set traps for small animals. On the second night, they were visited by a group of monkeys. The bus driver was able to scare them off with a loud noise. He reminded the children to always be cautious and to stick together. The children were a bit scared, but they felt safe with the bus driver around. The 3rd night was the hardest, as the weather turned bad and it rained heavily. The children were cold and wet, but the bus driver made sure they were all tucked in and warm under the tarps. He also made a hot stew to warm them up and keep their spirits high. The next morning, Zach and Violet finally found the children and the bus driver. They were overjoyed to be reunited and hugged each other tightly. Elsa was also relieved and thanked the bus driver for keeping the children safe. With the help of Elsa, they were able to map out a plan to get back home. They decided to follow the river that flowed through the jungle, knowing that it would eventually lead them back to civilization. The journey was long and challenging, but they were determined to make it home. They encountered many obstacles, such as steep cliffs, deep rivers, and dense foliage, but they worked together to overcome them. After 3 days of hiking and camping, they finally made it out of the jungle and back to civilization. They were exhausted but happy to be home. They thanked the bus driver for his courage and leadership, and they were grateful to have him as a friend. From that day on, they always looked back on their jungle adventure with fond memories and a deeper appreciation for the beauty and challenges of nature. If you like this story, be sure to subscribe for more videos